Aloha, and welcome back to Riley's on the Road.
We went on an amazing vacation in Oahu, Hawaii for 10 days.
Let's check out what happened.
We had 2 flights to Honolulu on Gemma's birthday. This wasn't her ideal way to spend her birthday, but it was worth it for Hawaii. Plus, she got to sit in the cockpit of one of the planes. We left from Denver and had a layover in LA. Our last plane was huge, and it was so cool because we were practically chasing the sunset for 2 hours as we were flying west.
The next morning, we ate our donuts and explored the hotel. We went with Papa and Tutu, so stayed with them at their Marriott timeshare. It was such a nice hotel, and huge, with 3 very nice pools, 5 hot tubs, a lagoon just steps away, a great fitness center, plus sunrise workout sessions, a luau on site, and a ton of activities, including trivia that was super fun, painting for Brietta and Gemma, and one day we did glass etching, which was so cool.
One of the biggest reasons we decided to visit Oahu over the other islands was to visit Pearl Harbor National Monument. Pearl Harbor is where a fatal attack on the U.S. naval base on December 7, 1941, launched America into World War II. We toured a submarine, the USS Bowfin, and museum while we waited for our reservation. We got to take a ferry out to the USS Arizona Memorial. The USS Arizona was one of 8 damaged battleships and one of 2 sunk by Japanese bombers. Over 1,000 servicemen died on that ship, and the remains of the Arizona are still resting on the ocean floor. A beautiful memorial is erected over the site, and it is a wonderful homage to the bravery and sacrifice of our sailors. You can still see the wreck to this day, and sometimes you can see oil rising to the surface of the water surrounding the boat, symbolically known as the Black Tears of the Arizona, leaking continually from the ship's fuel tank. We went to the Dole plantation on the island. Dole is one of the lead producers of fruits and vegetables in the world, and it all started with pineapples at this plantation in Oahu. We took a train tour and learned all about the history of pineapple agriculture. We saw pineapples in all stages of growth and some of the other crops they grow there. We even caught sight of a wild boar. We of course had to get some delicious fresh Dole Whip, which totally hit the spot on a warm, humid Hawaiian day. Afterward, we drove to the North Shore to take a swim in the ocean. It probably wasn't the best beach for wading, but that's okay.
That evening, we went to the on-site luau, Pia Pia. They started by doing tattoos and teaching how to weave headbands out of palm fronds. Next, the chief spoke for a while, and I absolutely loved him. He was hilarious. Then we all got our food. There was traditional Hawaiian food, like kalua pig, poi, and ube, plus mahi-mahi, teriyaki chicken, and prime rib. The sunset during the show and eating was stunning, as usual. The show itself was traveling through the Pacific Islands, with a male and female side of each island, including Tahiti, Samoa, Hawaii, and many others, with each having its own dance. It was amazing. It's incredible what those dancers can do, and very interesting to learn about all the different islands. In the middle of it, they had volunteers come up and split them into kids, women, and men, then have them dance on the stage, which was very interesting. They also sang happy birthday to those with birthdays that month, including Brietta and Gemma.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
At the end, they had the fire dancing, which was breathtaking. They had different single performers, each doing crazy things. Then they all came on at the end, so there were 8 guys doing it all at the same time. All in all, it was so cool to go. Thank you, Papa and Tutu. On Wednesday, we started the day by going to the Hawaiian State Capitol building. On the way there, we passed Aulani Palace, which used to be the official residence of the reigning Hawaiian king. It was beautiful. Once we got to the Capitol, though, we were sorely disappointed. We've been to 39 state capitol buildings, and this one was sadly in the worst shape. I like to say the building had bird poop instead of marble. It had an open-top design with a mosaic in the middle, which might have been cool to see rainbows through after it rained, but it wasn't maintained. Inside, there were a ton of water spots and the roof was falling apart. There was also no tour of the building, so we just walked around a little bit. We went up to the top, which had a cool view, one side towards the ocean and the other side inland to the mountains. Since the legislature was not in session, neither of the chambers were open, so we just looked through the windows. There was also plywood construction on the outside, which was painted beautifully. Next, we got lunch at Zippy's, a Hawaiian fast food restaurant. That afternoon, Melina and I got surfing lessons. Our dad came too and just rented a board. We went with Uncle Brian's, which was an amazing choice. We even got to meet the actual Uncle Brian after the lesson. There were 2 instructors, and since there was only one other family, we each got one of the instructors. So it was like Melina and I got our own private session. Our instructor's name was Elijah, and he was absolutely spectacular. We started out by learning the basics, specifically how to stand up while we were on the wave. Then we went out. It was a 2-hour-long lesson, which was just the right amount of time, and I cannot tell you how much we enjoyed it. We talked while we were waiting for waves and had some amazingly deep conversations, which was incredible. And when a good wave came, Elijah pushed one of us into it so we didn't have to paddle as hard. Then we rode it. We both got the hang of it pretty fast and had very individual styles. Even though we were born and raised in San Diego, which is famous for surfing, we'd never gone before. So this was both our first times, and from my point of view, there was no way to have made it better.
We spotted a couple of mongoose, even in the resort, which was a surprise for us. We didn't know that the little weasel-like things native to India would be all over Oahu.
On Thursday, it was Brietta's birthday. We walked down the road a while to Paradise Cove to snorkel, which was amazing. Since it's a natural cove, the water is very clear, and there were tons of fish, all different kinds, and a turtle. It was absolutely amazing to see. They are incredibly beautiful creatures, and we all got to see it fairly close up. There were also pretty shells and sea glass. That night, Brietta got Oreo ice cream sandwiches for her dessert.
Happy birthday to you.
We went to Shark Cove to go snorkeling again. It was very busy but had a pretty large variety of fish and a couple turtles. Then, we wanted to drive all the way around the island to see the other side. Behind the mountains, the scenery is much more lush than the Honolulu side, which makes it even more gorgeous. It was worth the drive.
While driving around the island, we stopped to hike Diamond Head. Diamond Head State Monument encompasses over 475 acres near the eastern edge of Waikiki's coastline, including the inner and outer slopes of the crater. Diamond Head itself is a volcanic tuff cone, which was formed from an eruption of Ko'olo volcano, which is the volcano that created Oahu. The hike is 1.6 miles round trip, with 560 feet of elevation gain, including 99 stairs up and a more than 200-foot-long tunnel. Once you make it to the top, you come out into a pillbox, and when you walk out, it's a surrounding view of the ocean, crater, the city, and inland, which is very cool. Then we headed back down the same way we came up.
Our last night at the resort, we had dinner and said goodbye to Papa and Tutu. The sunsets throughout our stay were stunning.
We got malasalas in Hawaii, which are Hawaiian donuts, and I really liked them. We stopped at Pearl Harbor one last time to get our Junior Ranger badges.
For lunch, we went to Giovanni's. Those who don't like seafood got hot dogs, but the rest of us got their lemon butter shrimp and rice. It was so good.
After the resort, we had to stay one more night for our flight, so we slept at a hotel in the city. Waikiki Beach just happened to be right down the street, so we went for one last visit. It was so sad to leave the island, but I can't wait to go down.
On the flight back, we flew over the islands, which was very cool. It was 7 hours of flight time, but we switched time zones and had a layover at Los Angeles International Airport, so it was an all-day thing.
We are so grateful Papa and Tutu invited us to stay in Ko'olina. The Marriott vacation properties are always so nice. You honestly would never need to leave the property and still have a magical Hawaiian vacation. Melina and Ashlyn earned their surfing lessons helping Papa and Tutu sort slides at my grandma's house. Boy, did they enjoy the fruits of their labor. Since our unit had a full kitchen, we didn't eat out much except on travel days. Hint to those traveling through LAX airport. Take the walk down to the Habit for your meal. Prices are almost half that of other places and same quality as outside the airport. Another fun fact, our minivan rental was less than half price compared to the 3 we have rented stateside this year. Who would have thought?
We had the best time ever. See you next time on Riley's on the Road. Bye!